Welcome. This is Thursday the 24th of September 2009 and this is Simply the Truth live with me, Doug Harris. Thank you for joining us because you are as important as us here in the studio, and we want you to take part over the next 2 hours. We want your input into the program. Let me remind you first of all, though, that all things Simply the Truth can be found at simplythetruth.revelationtv.com, simplythetruth.revelationtv.com. You'll be able to find the guests, details of upcoming guests. You'll also be able to find contact details of guests that have been on. And so there is all the information that you need for that. Also, the place that you, if you don't have opportunity today to put an input into the program, if you're watching a repeat of this program, and obviously you can't phone in or text in, you can leave your comments on the website there at simplythetruth.revelationtv.com, and we will get round to answering them just as soon as possible if they need an answer. Otherwise, we will put them up there for all to see. So please do become more interactive with us over these days. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you if you've got specific programs that you think would be great if we put on in this type of format. Maybe you could be part of one of the programs. Great, just let us know. We'll see what we can do. No promises, but we'll be glad to hear from you. Now today, got an old mate back again, and it's not just because I'm running out of guests. Julian, you're welcome.
It usually is.
Julian and I, we discuss topics every now and again under a sort of a banner, The Truth About, and that's what we're going to be doing today. And we're going to be looking at the whole area of evangelism without religious hatred.
Amen.
A lot is talked about today about religious hatred. A lot is said about that. How can we evangelize without that? Especially those that have already got a different belief. How do we do it? Well, we're going to be looking into that today, and we want your input. In a while, we'll open the emails and the text messages, and then later on, the phone lines as well. So that's what we're going to do today. Sit back, enjoy, and let's see what we're going to be able to uncover and teach about and look about today in this whole subject. Julian, just before we get that, you've got a new 3-week.
She is. I told her fib, actually. She's 4 weeks today.
She's 4 weeks today.
She is, yeah.
And you're still awake.
I'm just.
You've never been to sleep since she was born.
She's marvellous.
Yeah.
She's marvellous, actually.
Just like her mum, eh?
Just like her mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good she's not just like her dad, eh? Yeah? Yes,
so,
very good.
I mean, you know, I think I can remember back that far. I think just about that far.
Jurassic period, I believe.
It was something like that. And it does tend to mess up the whole routine that you've got yourselves into, which may not be a bad thing.
Well, it shakes you up a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but how do you, through that, still cope? Because you run Complete Package Ministries, which is looking at ministering to people in various ways, especially in evangelistic ways. You're part of a local church. How have you managed to continue with that? With the baby came a job description for my wife, and she just gets on with it. Basically, she's marvelous. She just gets on with it. Of course, I do my bit and try my best. But it's like anybody in a full-time job, you know. You take a certain amount of time off, not enough, according to my wife. And she's probably right, because she usually is. And it's just, you just have to get on with it, you know. It's the whole thing is outside of the family, you know. It's you know, the Lord did say to us quite bluntly, actually, that if we're not going to put him before our family, then we're not worthy of him. Right.
Now let me explain that to people who may be looking in and going, that's a bit horrible, isn't it? You know, I believe that what he was saying there is, listen, if you don't believe that I can look after your family better than you can look after your family, then you haven't enough faith for your family to be looked after. I believe that Jesus can look after my family better than I can. And therefore I put him first regardless of who comes along. Little Martha's come along because she's beautiful. Everybody says so. It's not just me being biased, although, yes, I am. But the work must go on because Jesus is more capable of doing those things than I am as a dad, you know.
But you've still got to continue with the work, haven't you? You've still, you've got certain things that happen. Has it become more difficult, or are you able to, as it were, allot your time in the right way? Or I don't know about you. I mean, I'm honest, and my wife knows that. I find that a struggle sometimes. Yes. Is it? I think for many people in probably in secular work as well, but certainly in Christian work, I think it's a real problem to allot your time properly.
Yeah. It is difficult to make sure that everything is in its right place. Of course it is. I pretty much know when I'm not doing enough in the family, in the house, when my missus starts saying, "Oh, you're not doing enough in the family and in the house, mate," you know.
Just a subtle hint.
My office is in the house as well, so right. I can get on with things in the office, and I only have to go out for what I need to go out for, you know. Which in itself presents a problem because my little 2 and nearly 3-year-old is at home as well, and he still really doesn't get that that's my office and that's where I go to work. And when the door is shut, I'm working. He doesn't get it. He's still coming in, and you know, he'll be in the middle of a phone call, and he'll be daddy, daddy, daddy. You know, but yes, it is a difficulty sometimes. But I've got plenty of people around me who will be brutally honest with me if I'm not doing it. And outside of the family, I think it's very important to have people like that.
And what sort of things are you doing with Complete Package Ministries these days? Because you do all sorts of things, and I know even a little bit of music that you always threaten to bring up your guitar and play us a song. You never do.
I brought you a CD.
Okay.
So maybe next time you can hear some stuff.
Not very visual CDs, aren't they?
No, not.
But what sort of things are you doing?
Well, things are getting quite exciting for CPM now. Tomorrow, I've gathered up some folk who are going to form my board of trustees.
Right.
So we're going in that direction now. The main reason for doing that is because over the last year or so, since CPM has gone full time, we've been trying to lay our hands on some substantial grant monies. And haven't been able to do so because we're seen as a one-man band. It's just me, and I've got other people working with me. But as far as grant-making applications are concerned, I'm just me. CPM is just me, which is a difficulty. You can't get large grants like that, you know. So we're setting up a trustee board. That will be happening tomorrow. Our first meeting will be tomorrow. So then we'll be able to go for these bigger grants to do bigger and better things. We've also got a lot on before Christmas. The church work, of course, continues. We'll be in the park with the Carnival Committee at Christmas time, leading their Christmas service. But between now and then, we've got a couple of family services, our gospel services. Then in October, I've got a couple of events going on. The inaugural Christian Men's Fellowship for Carmarthen is October the 10th. And the following week, we're really pleased to get involved with Teen Challenge, who we're heavily involved with anyway. And they're coming with a play called The Journey. And it's about one of the guys, actually the guy is in it, it's about one of the guys' journey from addiction to Christ and all those bits in between. And it's all the actors and the musicians, I believe, are all involved with Teen Challenge, and most of them have gone through the programme. So it's tremendous.
It's great. Now,
you know?
I mean, a lot of what you've talked about there would come under the general title of evangelism, which is, of course, part of what we're talking about today. So before we talk about it the bit without religious hatred, what do you consider, first of all, to be genuine evangelism?